here at Olds College in cooperation with Horse Racing Alberta, and today I'm going to show you how to groom a horse properly. I'm going to show you the technique that we use at the end of the morning after the horses have exercised. We call it final brush, doing up, whatever it is the term that you use, and some of the different brushes that we can use. You have to be flexible enough to do whatever it is that your employer will ask you to do, but we are going to show you today a number of different types of tools. So the first one I'm going to show you is the shedding blade or shedding brush. This is only used in the springtime where the horses are starting to lose their winter coat, and it will pull the hair off the horse as it starts to come loose. So when your horses are losing their hair in the spring, this will work until they're almost shedded out. Then you should stop using it because it's too harsh. This is the plastic curry brush. That will be the first brush that we'll use in conjunction with our stiff bristled dandy brush. The curry brush is used to bring oils to the top of the coat and to give them a massage, and they're both a harder bristled brush to loosen up sweat and dirt, and I'll use them together. The next two that I will use is a rubber massage glove. Now that takes off a little bit more of the fine dust, again giving that horse a massage, warming up those muscles, bringing oil to the top, along with the soft bristled dandy brush. I'm going to use the comb to comb out his mane and tail, and I'm also going to use the hoof pick at some point during my grooming. So I'm going to put the hoof pick in my back pocket, and I'm going to start with the curry brush and the hard dandy first. My horse is already tied in the stall, so I approach her. I'm going to start with the dandy brush and curry brush right behind her head. These are too hard to use on their head and their lower legs. So this is for the main fleshy part of their body. I'm going to use it in a circular motion, going in the direction of the hair. So the hair runs this way, so I'm going in the direction of the hair. And behind, I'm using my dandy brush with a flicking motion to take that dust off. So I'm using them both together so that I'm not wasting time between brushes. So I'm going to scrub her chest, all the way down her shoulder into the fleshy part of her forearm. I'm going to continue to scrub over her back in that circular motion, and when I get a quadrant of the horse done, I'll come back with my dandy brush and sweep away from me. I can use this curry brush all the way under her belly. And I'm going to keep my body close to her body so that there's less opportunity to kick. If I'm out here, I don't feel her muscles moving to lift her leg to kick me. I'll be able to feel her muscles lifting that hip, and I can move away from the hind end. At her flank here, the hair goes different directions, so I'm going to use my brush in those directions. And I'm using quite a bit of force here to sweep and to brush. Grooming is not something you just do with a light touch. To do any good, you're going to continue to use a lot of muscle power. So I'm going to go to the other side of my horse. In order to do that, I'm going to keep my hand on my horse, be right up close so she knows where I'm at. Right now, I'm in her blind spot. She can't see me, but she can feel me because I still have my hand on her hip. And I'm going to quietly ask her to get over and just push her on the hip. Come on. and give myself lots of room to be able to come to this side of my horse. I'm now ready for the next step in my grooming, and I have my rubber glove and my soft brush, and I have my hoof pick in my back pocket. Okay, my rubber glove and soft brush I can now use on their face. So I can take my rubber glove, especially around those ears and behind her halter, moving that halter so that I can get that sweat off their face from exercise. And I can take my soft brush and sweep behind that. And now I'm going to use my glove in a circular motion. Again, using my body weight, using my muscles to bring that oil to the front top of their skin and to get that blood circulating and get those muscles massaged. You can do her chest. Now I can do all the way down the inside and outside of her leg, all the way around the back, across the back of the fetlock here in the pastern, and taking my soft brush behind, getting that fine dust off. Something else that we do every once in a while, just take your brushes and sweep them out so that you're cleaning your brush out a little bit. Now I'll just take my two tools, put them between my legs. I'm not going to take 2 or 3 trips around my horse to pick their feet, so I'm going to choose this time to pick her feet. So I'll ask her to pick up her feet. So I am resting her hoof on my left hand, so I'm cradling that hoof. Make sure you don't cradle it back here because that leaves that foot dangling. Give yourself a good hand with your left hand to push against. And I'm going to pick her feet away from the frog, away from me, getting all of this cleaned out in the lateral groove. The medial groove has been cleaned out. I'd imagine the farrier has been here lately. And sweeping that out so I can look for any kind of deformities or anything that's a problem. When you're picking your feet, if you use your hoof pick and feel like this, it should feel smooth. If it feels gritty or soft, that means that you haven't got everything picked out, so you got to keep working at it. While I'm down here, I'm going to put the hoof pick back in my pocket, grab my soft brush and sweep across the back of that pastern, because that's where dirt will accumulate and where they'll get scratches. So I'm going to make sure that that's good and clean and allow her to put her foot down. So this quadrant of my horse is done. Moving on to the back quadrant of my horse. Swap my hands over. Doing a sweep off with my soft brush. Again, keeping my body close to her body. I always have a part of my body touching her so that I can feel for any kind of movement. Now, because I have this rubber glove that isn't so hard, I can do the inside of her leg as well and down below her hock, all the way down her leg. When I'm done with that, take my soft brush, sweeping away from me. Cleaning it out a little bit. Again, hanging on to my tools. Now I'm going to pick up her foot. When a horse picks up a hind foot, they need to be able to bring it forward Just anatomically, they need to be able to bring it forward before they can bring it back. So I'm going to keep my body close to her, keep my hand on her so she knows where I'm at, all the way down, asking her for a foot. Once I've got it picked up, I'm going to bring my body back behind her and pick that foot up. Again, while I'm here, I'll take my soft brush, sweep across the back of that pastern. Now I don't just drop her foot now. I'm going to hang on to it, bring my body backwards, and allow her to put her foot down. If I bring my body back up towards her head, then she won't have an opportunity to kick me. Sometimes when you put a horse's foot down, they'll just naturally kind of kick out a little bit. Not that they're trying to kick you, but when you put the foot down, if you come back towards your horse's head, then they will not be able to kick you. So going over to the other side, get over. So I'm going to make this horse get over and give me lots of room. It shows respect for me from her. I'm in charge, and allows her, it doesn't allow her to get me pinned in a corner and get me in trouble. I'm going to make sure that I have lots of room to work, and sooner or later, when you do the same thing every time, your horse will just automatically move over for you because they respect your space. So I'm on the final polish of my grooming. I have my rub rag and my mane and tail comb in my hand. You'll see lots of grooms at the track with carrying their rub rag in their pocket all the time, so they can wipe out their horse's eyes, nose. When they come back sweaty, they can rub them down. And I'm going to use this for my final polish. So I'm going to rub her face. Just wipe the dust off her face, like so. The nose. Just like any kid, they don't always like that. I'm going to do her mane now with my mane and tail comb. Just get that mane nice and cleaned out. Tangle free. A lot of your barns will also use the curry comb for this process, which is fine, whatever it is that your barn uses. So I'm going to wipe my whole horse down with this rub rag, all the way down her legs, all her whole body, the hip included. When I'm done, I can use a sponge, or I can use another rub rag, or a wet part of my rub rag, and I can wipe out her eyes and her nose, if necessary, her bum. Preferred not to use it in the opposite order. Now when I'm doing her tail, I'm combing out her tail either with the comb or the curry brush. I'm going to take the whole tail in my hand, and I'm just going to shake out a few hairs at a time to get that tail cleaned out. If I try to do it all at once, I'm going to end up with a tangled mess, and I'm not going to get it done. I'm not going to get through every hair. This way I'm just doing a few hairs at a time until I get all the way through the tail. If you do this every day, the tail won't be full of knots and be easier to do, just like this one is. It's quite easy to do. When they first come in for training in the spring, their tail's going to be full of knots. And now she has a nice clean tail with no shavings. Do not